So I'm going to do another tier list. I try and do a tier list every single Tuesday. This is going to be my second one. My last one went down pretty well. It was a solo Legends one. Head back there on my channel about a week and you'll see it. And today we're going to go over weapons. Now I just want to go over a couple of kind of ground rules for myself because I don't like using certain guns in this game. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It means that I don't like using them. This tier list is based on me and not the all-round games tier list. And that's the kind of difference I want to try and make here. A lot of people try and make the guns that are like, these are the best guns in the game and you should get good with them. I prefer the kind of, I like using the guns that I like using and then get better with them guns. Because overall, Apex Legends weapons are pretty damn balanced. For a game that has like as balanced as it is, it's kind of crazy that it is so balanced. I know there's always guns that are going to be better than others, but it's actually a really well balanced game. So hopefully you learned something in this video about weapons, and let me know in the comments what you want to see next time. And I'm also aware this might be uploaded on a Wednesday. It took me a lot longer to edit than I thought, but yeah, not my fault. We're going to call it Tier List Tuesdays because Tier List Wednesdays is not working in my head. But enjoy the video, guys, and make sure you leave a like and let me know what you think of the tier list. So I think the best way to go about doing this is use the new loadout system, and we can see how many kills I have with guns, how much damage I've done, for example, and all that stuff. I just want to go over something else quick. My overall kills are 45,000 at the moment, and yeah, that should go into kind of give us a bit more background of kind of what guns I use most. So starting off from the D tier, the bottom tier guns that I never want to use, never want to land on off drop. Starting off with the Devotion. Now I absolutely hate this gun. I don't know what it is. Even with a turbo, I still don't like it. I hate the initial recoil. I'm putting gameplay in the background of each one, as you can see now, and yeah, as you can see, it's not great. I've had 154 kills of this thing, 40,000 damage, and I don't even know if that's actually accurate or not. The damage is a bit off. But yeah, that is my first D-tier gun. I just don't like the thing, and this tier list is going to be very much about what I like and not what actually is really good. And you'll quickly learn that I don't like long-range guns, and the Devotion as well. Next in the D-tier, there's 5 in this one, by the way. Next we go into the snipers. So the charge rifle's going to be the first one for me. I have 32 kills out of 45,000. I've had 32 with the charge rifle. That's actually quite a proud moment. I hate the charge rifle. I don't like people that use it, and if you use it, then what's wrong with you? And then I know they nerfed it this season. Last season it was just running rampant everywhere. It is just the hit scan ability is mental. But yeah, I hate it. I don't know why people use it, and I really like to have a secondary that you can also switch to and use really quickly at close range. So that's kind of how I run things, and yeah, my long range is normally more like an R301 or like a flatline. Next one in the D tier, Sentinel. So this, I do like this gun more than the charge rifle, but it is just too slow. I know you can charge it up. I don't think I've even had to kill this thing. I don't think I've had to kill this thing yet this season. I've had 145 kills altogether with it. I know you can charge up, and it does make it better. And it's a very good gun. I've seen Mandy play. Mandy plays with snipers a lot, and he makes a Sentinel, and he makes all the stuff look good, to be honest. But I know that it's a powerful gun. I just don't like it, and this is why, again, it's my tier list. And the final two are pretty obvious in my head. The first one being the P2020, even with hammer points, it's crap. I've had 280 kills of the thing, and yeah, it's just not good, is it? Simple as that. Final one is a shotgun, and we'll go to the Mozambique. And you know, the Mozambique, what can you say that's good about the thing? I mean, with hammers it does hit hard, but no one uses it really. If you do, put it in the comments because I'd be interested to know why. I've had 339 kills of it, and yeah, it's not many. So moving on to the C tier. The C tier is full of guns that off drop I'm like, yeah, okay, I can accept that for now, but it needs to get rid of it ASAP. And some of these guns might be a bit controversial. I know some people love these guns, but you know, I don't. Starting off with a sniper, and the last one that you can actually call a sniper is the longbow. It's a semi-automatic gun. It can be used at medium range at a decent level, and that is pretty much why I like it. It hits for like 106 headies when you have a skull piercer on it, and it is very good if you're like sat in a room on ranked and you just want to pop shots at people. And that's pretty much why I like the longbow, and the kind of hip fire on it is quite strong when you hit like the 55s up close. It can be a very viable gun. So it's a good gun. I wouldn't really want it off drop, and I would probably change it out for something better, but it's not too bad. Moving on to a marksman rifle, we have the triple take. So this gun I actually quite like because at close range it's actually really strong. Obviously it got changed to a marksman rifle. It was a sniper for a long time, but I also like this skin. It kind of gives me them COD 4 Gilly in the Mist vibes. Shout out if you get that. Please let me know if you get that in the comments. I hope there's some people that do. And yeah. Moving on to that as the Rampage. Oh, where I'm going, the Rampage. There. So the Rampage is relatively new to Apex. I've had 514 kills of it. Even when you rev this thing up with a Thermite, I think it's stronger, but I don't think it's in that kind of high tier of weapon. I think the hip fire is pretty horrendous on the thing. I don't really like it because it's too slow. And yeah, if you're a Rampart, it does actually improve this gun quite a lot. I do have 514 kills of it, and that was probably when it was really strong when it was released. But yeah, not a big fan of it now, to be honest. It is good for preserving ammo as well, I will say that. So next we have another marksman rifle, being the 3030, which is, look at that skin. That's a cool skin. Don't know what event that was from, but yeah, maybe I should use this gun a bit more for that skin. Damn. I have 204 kills of this thing, 71,000 damage, and for me it's just something wrong with it. I just can't seem to hit shots very well with it. I can hit shots with the G7 a lot better, but me and semi-automatic guns just don't work very well. And I don't know what it is. The bullet drop on it, the bullet like travel distance and like speed just seems off when I use a 30-30. I don't know why, I can't use it very well, and yeah, that's why I stand here in the C tier for me. I'm sure some people will like this gun more than the G7, but I'm a G7 fan. So moving on to a pistol, we have the RE. For me, this gun in the care package was amazing. I love this gun in the care package, and that's because it always came with a mag. Now this thing kitted out can be very strong, but I think overall, I always find it off drop and I just want to change it out. I miss the alternator. The alternator off drop was very, very strong in my opinion. Just because you don't need... The clip's just really small for this gun. I have 716 kills of it. I bet half of them were last season when it was really strong and red in the care package. But still, it's okay, it's usable, but it's not that good in my opinion. And the final one in this... in the C tier is the Spitfire. Now I have 1300 kills with this gun. It does seem like a fair few, and it is. I used to use it a lot because it was actually very powerful when the game first released. This gun was actually incredible when the game first released. I'm talking like Season 0. I remember running around with Lifeline and just spraying people down with this thing. I think it might have had like 100 bullets in a mag. I might have to have a look at that, but it was ridiculous when it came out because it's just like, it's so forgiving because there were so many bullets in the mag. And obviously it used to have heavy ammo as well. It used to be very strong. It's been nerfed quite a few times. The hipfire I think got nerfed to load as well. And it's nowhere near as strong as it used to be. Probably my favourite of the LMGs, to be honest. Maybe the L-Star in the care package at the moment. But yeah, the Spitfire is probably the only LMG that I might even think about picking up. But that pretty much ends the C tier. And now we're going to move on to the kind of average B tier weapons. So moving on to the B tier now. First of all, we have the EVA shotgun. Now, the EVA is one of my favourite shotguns, to be honest. It's probably my second favourite. I would put it underneath the PK. I have 1600 kills with this thing a couple seasons ago. Actually, it was probably like more like 3-4 seasons ago. It was really, really strong, and they had to actually nerf this thing. It was dominating all lobbies, and it was incredible. This is still one of my favourite guns. If I get this off drop, the whole B tier is kind of, if I get it off drop, I'm kind of happy. And but I probably will swap out if I find something better, which is not a bad tier to be. These are kind of the average guns in my opinion. So yeah. The EVA is the first one on the list. Second might be a bit of a surprise to people, and is actually the Prowler. Now, the Prowler is very strong in the right hands. I'm just not very good with burst subs. I don't know what it is about the Prowler. I have 2,000 kills with this thing, but honestly, I used to love the thing when it had Select Fire on it. That was a long time ago now, but Select Fire Auto Prowler went absolutely crazy, and I loved it. And the the burst one, just doesn't hit the same for me. It just doesn't. The burst... You get like 20 bullets in a clip, and the bursts just don't seem to be enough to kill people. I don't know what it is, I just don't like the Prowler too much. Next one is also a sub, and it's the Alternator. I have 2.3k with this gun. It's really good off drop, and it's a gun that I always quite like to find off drop. It's really strong when... I'd rather have the Alternator than the R99 straight away off drop sometimes, because you kind of preserve ammo and this thing actually hits really hard. If you shoot a full clip at like a target, you'll really see that this thing does a lot of damage. I think it's in the 480 range in one clip of an Alternator, which is like an R99 is more like 300. So if you put that into perspective, the Alternator is actually really, really strong. And also I didn't just notice that this like blue ring on this skin is like spinning. Never seen that before. But yeah, cool little skin for the Alternator. The next one's going to be the Mastiff. Let's head over to the Mastiff. So the Mastiff's actually my most killed with shotgun. I have 2.3 or 2.4k with it, almost 500,000 damage. And yeah, it used to be stronger. The Mastiff actually just got a bit of a nerf a few seasons back, and I used to run a setup of an R301 and a Mastiff, and that's why I have a lot of kills. I used to love the Mastiff, but nowadays I actually prefer the PK or the EVA. The Mastiff got a bit of a nerf, I think, a couple seasons ago, and it just hasn't been hitting the same since. I just hit constant 11s and 22s with it, and that's why it's down in the B tier. Finally, this is going to be quite a controversial one because it's the Havoc. Oh my god, this skin, look at that. Anyway, I have 1300 kills with this gun. At one point, this is also very overpowered. I haven't used this gun properly in a long time, and yeah, this gun's it's a weird one. Off drop, it's actually really, really strong. But as soon as you get into a game and you actually need to kill people at a decent range, I can't aim with it very well. And I think it's a lot easier to aim on PC. Controllers struggle like hell with the Havoc. I think I speak for most controller people at this point. And the Havoc, even with a turbo and a mag, it just doesn't seem to hit very hard for me. It does hit hard if you can hit your shots. I just don't hit my shots, so I don't enjoy it too much. And that is why it's in kind of the B tier, average kind of gun in the game. But that is the final one for the B tier, and now we'll move on to the guns that I really like to find, and we're going to go into the A tier. So, the A tier. Now, there's a few guns in this category that could be in the S tier. It could be in some people's S tier, it could be below. I know, I had to sort stuff out. I had to think about this and really put it into perspective of what I think of guns. And this is what I went with, so let's get into it. So, Flatline is going to be my first one in the tier, in the A tier. I have almost 4,000 kills with this gun. I have over 1 million damage. The decimal points are slightly out, so I'll try and convert as best I can damage-wise. It's already level 12 for me, so I've had a fair few kills of it this season even. And it would be in the S tier if it wasn't nerfed a few, well, all the ARs were nerfed in hip fire terms. But the Flatline was so good at hip firing, and it lost that, and it took it down a few notches for me, and that's why it sits in the A tier. Moving on to subs, we have the Car SMG. The car is a great gun. 3 or 4 seasons back when it was introduced, it was stronger than the R99. And the R99 coming in the last 2 seasons, it got buffed and it got the nerf, but it's still stronger. The R99 just sits above it. And that is it pretty much. I really like the skin I have on this. This video is making me realise I have some sick skins on guns. Yeah. But I've had 1,600 kills for a relatively new gun. It is pretty strong. It's level 16, which I think is one of the top 3 of my guns I've already got up. So you can see I use it a lot, and I do really enjoy the car. It's a great gun, and it's very close to being in the S tier. It's just if the R99 wasn't there, to be honest, but it is. Next is the final shotgun, and we have the PK. I think everyone agrees that the PK is the strongest shotgun. I have 1,800 kills of this thing. It's almost level 10 for me, so I've used it a fair bit this season. I just think that you can hit like 104s and 90s quite consistently of this, or I can at least, and the Mastiff and the Eva just can't seem to hit as consistently as the PK does. And that is literally what sets them apart. And I think this is in the A tier, because I don't think that the PK and shotguns all round are like in the hard meta right now, because subs are too good. And there's no gibby fights where the shotguns come in really, really strong. Next, another sub, we have the Volt. Now, this is another gun that recently just isn't quite as good as the R99. Now, as simple as it is, it's level 13 for me. I've had a fair few kills of the Volt as well. I use subs mainly in this game, as you can probably tell from the kills I have. This has done over 1 million damage for me. I've had 3.5k for it, kills with it, and once again, this skin that's cool, and this thing's actually moving. Never realised that before. I know it's like a reactive skin, but I just never realised that was actually moving. Pretty cool. Yeah, so the Volt sits in the A tier for me. Easily the strongest kind of energy gun for me. I don't like, actually no, saying that, no, it's not actually. The Nemesis is better, but I forgot about the Nemesis. But yeah, the Volt is very, very strong in his own category. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's just not quite that highest tier for me. The next one's quite an interesting one, because it is a care package weapon this season. It's going to be the L-Star. The L-Star has gone up and down loads of times. It was really, really good at one season. I couldn't say what the season that was. Maybe like around season 10. It got like a huge buff, and it was incredible. I haven't quite got 1,000 kills of it. I'm sat at 800 right now, and it's good in the care package, and it's a really strong gun. It's just one of them things that I don't really use enough to have the recoil pattern down, and yeah, so for me it's just going to sit in the A tier. I don't think it's incredibly good. I don't think it's the levels of the other ones that are in S tier, and that's why it sits down here. Next we have the no, it's in pistols, and it's the Wingman. A lot of people will probably put this in the S tier. Now, some people can use the Wingman better than me. I'm actually not bad with the Wingman. I put myself as a decent Wingman user. I've got it level 11, which is reasonably high. I've had a fair few kills of it this season, and I've had almost 3,000 kills of it altogether. For me, it's just one of them guns that you need to be using it every single game to be consistent with it, and it obviously strafes really fast because it's a pistol. It is a very, very strong weapon. It's just not quite in the S tier for me, because it's just not at the level that I want to be at. Maybe I'm not at the level with the gun that I should be at for it to be an S tier, because the Wingman is easily in S tier in some people's hands, just not mine. And the final gun inside the A tier is the G7. The G7 is easily my favourite marksman rifle. Yeah, you can use it at close range, or at least I can a little bit. And it's just, for me, I just prefer the light guns, I think. I'm just a light gun fan. I've got 814 kills of this thing, which I thought I'd actually have more than that. But this season, I've been using quite a lot in ranked especially, because you do need a bit of range, I feel, in ranked. And for me, it's easily an A tier gun. I wouldn't put it anywhere above that. But yeah, that is the final of the A tier guns, and I think that's all guns that I would happily use all game if I had to. But there's a few higher, and we'll go into those now. So we made it to the S tier. If you're still watching the video, thank you for coming this far. These are my favourite 6 weapons to use, and the strongest in the game at the moment in Season 17. Starting off with my number 2 gun, probably at the moment, I will go with the R301. This gun has been the top tier gun on this game since it came out. It's simple as that. It actually got nerfed this season. I think they took damage down by 1, but it hasn't affected it too much. I think the Nemesis is probably a bit too strong now, but the R301 is still right up there and is still very, very strong. As you can see, I've had 6,000 kills with this thing, done over 2.5 million damage with it. And yeah, the skin also goes pretty hard on this thing. I love the skin of the old guy here, and yeah, what a skin. It's level 16 for me, and I love this thing. I think that the R301 is just a great gun to use. It's so satisfying to one-clip people with. It doesn't have much recoil. It's quite easy to use, but yeah, easily an S tier weapon for me. Next, we're going to go into my favourite gun in the game, and that is going to be this R99 right here. My highest level gun right now at level 25. Most of my gameplays and 20 bombs that you see on my channel all have R99s in them, because simply I am good with this gun. I've used it since the game started. I have 6.6 thousand kills of it, and I've done over 2 million damage. Is that? Yeah, 2.1 million damage with it. So yeah, it's been used quite a lot, and I plan to try and get a lot of kills with this gun and kind of grind out the old wins. Also, I have a lot of skins with this gun. Damn, look at those. But oh no, gone back too far. But yeah, the R99 easily an S tier for me. It is probably the best gun in the game right now, to be honest. And yeah, following the best gun in the game right now, this is probably the best setup in the game would be an R99 and this boy here, the Nemesis. So I've not actually had obviously this gun's quite new. I've not had a lot of kills of it. It came out last season, I believe. I've had 162 kills of it. I don't actually use it too much. I have to put it in S tier because it is so strong. I don't use it in terms of, I do pick it up now, and I'm trying to get better with it, but I'm just not that good with burst guns. As in this video I've explained that I'm not that good with burst guns. I'm trying to get better with them, but there's just no way that I can't put this gun in that tier. When you charge it up and it's like, it just spits out bullets and kills people way too fast. I get killed by it way too fast, and in the right hands, and even in my hands sometimes, it does absolutely batter people, and that is why it's in the S tier. I think the R99 and the Nemesis is probably the best setup in the game right now. And now we go into 3 guns that are actually in the care package, so it's kind of S tier, kind of not. First will be the Kraber. This thing can one-shot kill, and if a gun can one-shot kill, it has to go in the S tier in my opinion. I've got 72 kills of it. I don't use snipers much. I usually give the Kraber to other players in my team because I'm better at close range, so that explains why I've not done much in terms of, I only got 72 kills of my 45,000 with the Kraber. But it still has to sit in the S tier, and I think anyone that argues that is pretty silly, to be honest. Next we have the Bowcheck bow. This was quite a tough one for me because I wasn't sure to put this in A or S, and I think that this thing is really strong still. I think that it can hit for, I think it's like 96 headshots and maybe 70 body. Very strong. I've had 173 kills of it. I've done 100,000 damage of it. Not done much of it recently as it's in the care package, but this thing is good fun to use, and it's kind of like a flex weapon as well, good fun. So I like it, and I think S tier fits it quite well. The final one in S tier is going to be the last care package gun, and that is the Hemlock. I've had almost 1,400 kills with this gun. It's been in the game since it came out, and yeah, at the moment it is incredibly strong in the care package. It is one of the best guns in the game if you can get your hands on it, so I recommend using the crap out of it. It is really strong even when it's not in the care package, and not a lot of people actually know that. It doesn't get used that much, and it really should. I know Noko Puffs, or Nakoko Puffs, who's obviously a streamer, content creator, big guy, he used to love the Hemlock, and then everyone kind of started using it as well, but yeah, I still kind of think it's kind of Noko's gun in a weird way. So that's going to sum up my Season 17 weapons tier list. Now keep in mind that this is my tier list and not what I think of the overall game. I know that sounds kind of weird to explain, but in my head that works. This is what I use rather than what's actually really, really good to use. I'm not saying that the guns that I use are like bad, but yeah, I recommend using the guns I use to myself. If you like playing close range, then this probably suits you more than far range and long range basically. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, I know it was quite a long one. If you got to this point, then thank you very much. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, do what you feel like doing. And yeah, this is Tier List Tuesdays. It's my second one that I've done. If you want to go watch the first one, just head back. I done a solo Legends tier list, which actually went down really well. So yeah, leave a like, comment, do what you feel like doing. And thanks for watching. Peace out for now.